2011どうぞよろしくお願いします皆さん私はチャー君カルルです
No, espérate, ese no es el idioma.
Neither is that. We are in English 10 presentations.
Oh, sorry for that. My name is Carol Checa and this boy,
The Will Boy.
Hassid is part of my team.
Also me.
Yeah, George too in the background.
How is that you are Hassid are together in a group?
Come on, Jorge. Carol and I have plenty of things in common.
Of course we have, like stalking teachers.
A clear sign of craziness.
We're really better with adults than with people of our same age. Mr. Wolfo can confirm that. We spend a lot of time at the Panopticon, Mr. Spitia's office. Likewise, we're that kind of a student that is always asking Tomas if we can do the group of work by ourselves.
We definitely work better completely alone.
Yes, absolutely yes. Well, we're still trying to do it by ourselves, even if we know he would answer with a very smooth never.
And we'll be answering with a why, teacher?
And talking about questions, I can't avoid mentioning the literal questions. It was very common to see Mr. Speed exasperated with us because we weren't able to simplify a simple order like choose the correct option based on the text information.
I got a 50 on a previous test on a literal question.
And I got a freaking headache because of your sense of humor. Huh? Well, some days ago in literal classes, some days ago in presential classes, he was literally drawing his own ladder and trying to tell an anecdote about a guy asking for his blood or something like that.
Come on. Just imagine this. You are in Valledupar and a guy from nowhere comes and tells you, bro, give me your blood. What is that?
I don't get it yet. Nobody do it except him. Extremely weird. Anyways, my lack of censoring stressed me out. Once I was talking to Miss Yang and I was telling her that I had just moved to a new building with a horrible name. When she asked me which it was, it ended up being her spider name too. What a shame!
That kind of things happen to you an awful lot of times.
Yeah, and I hate it. But I know what you guys are thinking right now. Why is she telling us these random anecdotes? Well, the purpose of this presentation is to make you feel relatable with something difficult to understand. That is...
On the spectrum!
Satoshi Tajiri, Steven Spielberg, Bill Gates, Andy Warhol, Anthony Hopkins, Sid Barrett, Lionel Messi, and me. All these people have something in common. They have Asperger.
Half Asperger.
Oh, I've heard about it. So every person with Asperger is gifted, right?
No, that's not true. Don't you dare to say that again, please. Well, those are the things that are stereotyped. Just because a percentage of scientists said that Nikola Tesla and Einstein were in the spectrum and have a hanging intelligence.
But which of all the existing in multiple intelligence?
Well, the other, just 10% of the people with Asperger have a higher intelligence. And the other 90% where I belong just have an area or an intelligence developed. Like, the logical mathematical is the most common. Obviously, I'm an exception to that.
Am I?
Well, we will talk about that later. A common stereotype is that we are very empathic.
Turn back.
Sorry. Just picture this. You're studying chemical balancing with Mr. John in science at first Howard. Everything is okay. He is explaining how he balanced H2O step by step. You understand everything, but if somebody dares you to ask about it, you immediately get confused as if you never understand a thing.
The universe conspires against you to make Mr. John to make you balance in front of the class. That's awful.
No. That's stressing and confusing because you know how to act in the situation, but you can't react correctly. This analogy, this example, help us to understand how I feel when I have to support someone.
We can't judge a neurodivergent brain using our neurotypical brain because they work way different.
The shape of a brain with Asperger is different, basically because we have a neurodevelopment disorder.
The difficulty of integrating the things globally is just because they detail even the smallest thing. And it goes along with the innate ability to save a huge amount of data in their memory.
And things like the high sense perception of everything cause me stress.
Everything comes pre-designed, so that's why it's very hard for them to adapt. And basically, their brain gets the stimulus of the senses way harder than the normal people does. And that causes them more stress.
Even a beep of a car drives me crazy. Okay, anyways, another incredible fact about our brain is...
The systematization of the executive function.
Well, that's my favorite ability. It's very functional when we have to do whatever kind of plan because we discover rules and patterns in whatever kind of school activity.
They are as good at recognizing parents as Sherlock Holmes.
What? My dear Watson, do you know what really makes me angry?
People being ignorant about Asperger and autism.
Definitely. Once, there was a teacher that when I told him what I had it, he looked at me and said, "Oh, but you don't seem like it. But you're definitely crazy."
Or when your family, well, that's like when your family say, "Oh, Asperger is your personality. That's how God made you. So we can judge you."
Yeah. One of the most big problems with this is that people think that Asperger is the same as autism.
Repeat, Asperger is not the same as autism.
Another big problem with this is that a huge number of people, when they hear autism spectrum, they go along with the most remarkable part of this phrase and they think, "Oh, I like autism."
Hold on, as Rigero's media Montes would say, lack of semantic precision.
The term spectrum refers to the broad range of symptoms, abilities, and deterioration levels or disabilities that some people with the ASD can have, taking as reference point the symptomatology of autism. Inside the spectrum, we can find different variants in behavior patterns of other diagnoses.
Spectrums on spectrums. Even Asperger has its own spectrum.
If you had Asperger, you and I could be very different. We are maybe in different parts of the side.
Now that I think about it, what's the same high functioning autism and Asperger?
No, absolutely no. Go away. Thanks. First of all, they have different...
For people with Asperger, it is very important to receive a psychological score, because you know, I'm a strange brain.
Sometimes it's difficult the management of emotions. The things like the chronic stress or the low self-esteem make some people with Asperger need the psychological or pharmacological support. You know, Asperger is not an illness, it's a disorder, but for that reason it can be treated or cured.
Related to succeed with different brain function for people with Asperger, it is a treatment called cognitive behavioral therapy. And it's very common for people with Asperger to receive it.
Yes. Well, the cognitive behavioral therapy is focused on develop the flexibility of the thoughts. Well, instead we have a very emotional and sensory part of the brain. We still tend to be so rigid with our emotions, action, and everything related with our behavioral.
So, actually neuroscience keeps investigating the origin of the autism spectrum. New therapeutic methodology and most importantly, social inclusion plans are being developed. Even though there are plenty of difference between Asperger people and everybody else, they are still being humans, as everybody in this room. They don't need help, they just need acceptance.
Sometimes it's not about having the right of being treated equally. It's about having the right of being treated different. Thanks for watching.